I allowed number 36 to leave the hive without his memories only because I knew he would eventually return. This proves that I know more about human nature than you do. Alhaitham, do say a word or two. I will consider them as your last.
I made those words quite clear a year ago. The model you presented was extremely unstable. No amount of garish packaging will change its fragile nature. It can't be helped. If you were clever enough to realize those problems, then you would have been aware that the hive changed when Ilias returned to this collective consciousness of yours.
E as casas ficaram mal.
What's happening?
The collective needs motivation to execute its plans, just as machinery requires energy to operate. That's why you, as the Overmind, synchronized your hatred of me into the collective, prompting them to create and execute a plan to eliminate me. However, when Ilias returned to the collective, his memories and emotions were shared with the rest of its members. This includes his perception of me.
Thanks for that. You know, you don't seem like such a bad person. Strange, isn't it? Why did I have those thoughts at that time?
This contradicts the hatred you had provided them, and these two differing emotions will give rise to new conflict.
So that's it. Wait, so you knew that Ilias would return to the hive? And then you pretended to keep him around just to fool Siraj. Wouldn't expect any less from you, Alhaitham.
A pessoa que ele fez isso foi pura coincidência.
We'll take that opportunity to... wait. It's back to normal already.
Alhaitham, I told you. You're too arrogant. Did you really think that your little scheme would be enough to destabilize the hive? Ilias's return had indeed introduced abnormal emotions into the hive, but such a meager drop cannot give rise to waves. Your struggle has been in vain, and it's time to end it. Allow me to show you what makes the collective consciousness so formidable.
Monstrinhos assim.
Monsters. Where did they come from?
Vai ser muito fácil matar.
Something feels off about them.
I also integrated monsters into the collective, though I ranked them last. Even so, they are part of it. Despite their lack of intelligence, perfect cooperation can be achieved, much like soldiers who have undergone strict training. Now then, drown in endless waves of monsters. You will all pay for your ceaseless arrogance.
Sou aventureiro nível classe S.
Hey, Alhaitham? Your plan didn't work, so what do we do now?
I've already sent my gift to the collective. It'll take some time for the recipient to receive it. You two just need to brace yourselves for the nuisance in front of us.
Vai de boa isso aí, né?
Alright. Paimon doesn't know how you get so confident, but we'll hold them off for as long as we can.
A gente vai segurar, a gente vai lutar com ele na equipe, não? Para, Pivol. Deixa eu fazer isso aqui, velho. Eu preciso me curar, sabe? Entra aí do negócio pra se curar. Desce aí, grandão. Aí, ó. Tem que descer, pô. Voltar todo mundo vai acabar mais rápido.
You see? That is the will of the collective. Even
Deixa eu
with the
continuar
hatred
batendo.
gone, they continue their work. An external anomaly cannot
Será que ele
shake
falou
the
pra
collective
Narida?
stability.
Acho que é uma mais forte, né?
I see everything. Eat this.
Process of elimination.
Corte rápido, ó.
He won't hold out for much longer.
Os bichos não vão parar de vir, então... Já tá aqui, né? É que eles não vão parar. Cadê? Falta você.
What's going on? What's with this sudden influx of information? Silence! As the Overmind, I command you!
Eu ordeno o quê? Não ordena mais nada aqui. Ah, tá. Achei que a gente ia até os carinha ali, matar eles. Mas pelo visto não. Tá, tomei cá. Vai, go. Ó, um boss. Terceiro demais? Logo esse, né? Sei qual é. Fazer um corte rápido. Fogo não aguenta contra planta, né? Então... Oh, planta não é muito pra fogo, né? Corta. Acabou. Muito fácil.
What have you done?
Calm down. Don't you have an easy way to figure this out? You were only designated as number 36? What a shame. From what I can see, your talents merit a smaller number. Putting aside the validity of the data, it is meaningless to judge individuals based solely on their jnana energy.
Cara, ele foi plantando várias
What you said to
ideias.
Ilias has now become a memory shared by all members of the Hive. I see it now! You've channeled and amplified their selfish desires! You're trying to destroy my Hive from the inside out!
Human minds are not infinitely pliable, and your hive has stretched many of them to their limit. Once your authority as Overmind starts to wane, it won't be long before your subjects snap back. Is it worth living here like a machine? Being a tool for the rest of my life? As soon as one person begins to have these thoughts, selfishness, doubt, and fear will propagate, thanks to the web of consciousness that you built. At this stage, your so-called hive has already fallen.
It's not over yet. I am the Overmind! There has to be a way!
Dá pra não cair aí, hein?
It's too late. Once the desires of the hive accumulate, beyond a certain threshold, they will kill their king.
Wouldn't have suffered such a disgraceful defeat if I was the Overmind.
My number shouldn't be so far down the list. Siraj is alive.
This isn't what we agreed to.
I should be the one in your position.
A gente vai lutar contra ele? Não, né? Palmas. Que final. A gente vai lutar contra ele.
The hive
Oh, não.
shut down?
Acabou.
What happened just now?
Members of a collective consciousness are more likely to reach a consensus because of their shared memories and emotions. For example, Ilias did have differing perceptions, but he ultimately followed the collective consciousness's judgment. However, this system is far from perfect. Based on this logic, the collective consciousness will generate an intractable diffusion effect upon encountering negative emotions.
Deu um bochecho aqui. Desejos egoístas.
The disturbance that Ilias caused wasn't for naught. It made the collective question the Overmind. Setbacks in the plan further amplify doubt, which diminishes the Overmind's influence. This inevitably causes the collective to generate negative emotions. Apprehension, disappointment, panic, avarice. These negative emotions can be very well hidden, as humans generally do not share completely transparent channels of communication. But in the hive, where there are no secrets, negativity can spread like a tidal wave. Of course, what I said to Ilias was the trigger for all of this. A few words were enough. Believe in the power of words, Siraj.
You were already thinking of a way to destroy the collective consciousness. Even back then.
Ele é um
You
monstro,
knew
por isso
that
que ele é
Ilias
o
was the bait
sábio.
all along. But how did you know? Since when?
I knew it from the moment I saw him. Moreover, I never looked down on you. My opinion of you has always been objective. You have a naive view towards the concepts of collective consciousness and human evolution, but you are intelligent and disciplined. You would never let a test subject escape. Mistakes like that are beneath you, and you also won't leave any mistake without a resolution.
I never thought I'd hear those words come from you. But if you're saying that out of sympathy, spare me. I know very well that you've never viewed me as an equal. When you were with us, you always had a distant look in your eyes. You don't need to hide it. I know it better than anyone else. The arrogance that comes with being a genius. Nobody likes being treated like that.
Your perspective is entirely born from your habitual way of looking at things. From your perspective, you probably think I'm like you, someone who doesn't fit in. However, I've never placed myself on a pedestal. I just want to distance myself from meaningless noise and look at everything objectively. On the other hand, you have failed to come to terms with who you truly are. You care too much about winning and how others perceive you.
You mean to say that I'm
Você
the
é
arrogant one
arrogante.
here?
Is that not so? Arrogant and emotionally fragile. You
Emocionalmente
view people as a
frágil.
simple, mediocre collective, while you regard me as one of your kind.
Regardless, I have lost. You can take me back to the academia to stand trial.
You will stand trial, yes. But arresting people isn't in my job description. I'm just an ordinary staff member. I believe it is the General Mahamatra's duty to escort you away.
Olha aí, Siron.
Sino? What are you doing
Aí
here?
então ele irá a mensagem que ele mandou enviar.
I
Eu
followed the
Siron.
symbols. Looks like things have already been settled.
Symbols?
Símbolos.
I left a similar picture in my letter to him, and I made several similar symbols on the way here.
Wait, what do you mean you left a letter? Oh, Paimon remembers! When Paimon first saw you, Arav said that you had left a letter for Sino. So you really did know that something was up with Ilias from the start! You lied to us too!
It would be best if you didn't spout nonsense. I never employed any mode of trickery on you. By the way, I came across some information at the academia a few days ago. If you practice the method discussed therein, your vision may improve. Do you need
Nossa.
it?
Seriously? This guy. By the way, Sino, Paimon heard that Siraj sent more people to the academia. We can't let those jerks get away!
Don't worry. The Matra have started screening suspicious persons. And we've already arrested many of Siraj's
Perfeito.
associates.
Belo trabalho,
This
belo
was likely
trabalho.
one factor that caused the Hive's consciousness to waver. Everything went as you predicted.
É sábio,
Alhaitham.
Siron. É sábio.
Seems like the interesting part is already over. I'll leave the arrests to you all. See you.
Deus. E assim ele se foi.
And off he goes. There still are a lot of test subjects here, so let's stick around for a while.
Ué, não acabou? Orgulho e preconceito, pare com as cobaias. Ah, uma por uma, sério?
Oh no. Oh no. I was involved in all these plans to get rid of the acting Grand Sage? What came over me? How could I do something like this?
We were accomplices without knowing it. But I'm afraid that Alhaitham might pressure the Matra into giving us heavier sentences. Whether he's the scribe or the acting Grand Sage, we can't afford to offend him. It seems our future at the academia will be full of uncertainties.
We can discuss the future later. Leaving the collective left me with a strange sense of guilt. I didn't feel anything towards Alhaitham at first, since he wasn't well known. All the opinions I heard about him were negative, though. Siraj made us hate Alhaitham, and we blindly accepted that hatred and thought of him as a bad person. From how things look, we've done a lot of irrational things.
I guess we're getting what we deserve. Could you help us apologize to Alhaitham?
Sure, Paimon will help you tell Alhaitham, but whether he chooses to forgive you is up to him.
It's okay. No matter what he chooses, apologizing will make us feel slightly better. If he chooses to remember this, we're prepared for our punishment.
It's time to go.
Let's go.
Oi, oi. E agora, gente? Ele se mandou.
So, were they all duped? We can ask Alhaitham about that later.
E o Elias?
Looks like I can't exist as Siraj number 36. Yet, my life as Ilyas goes on. When I was at Gandharvaville, I thought about whether I should just come forward with the truth. But I didn't have the courage then. So in the end, I lost my sense of justice, but I also wasn't able to conform.
Ilyas?
Don't be sad. I'm the one who deceived you. However, I didn't come out of this completely empty-handed. The moment the hive collapsed, an idea popped into my head. I realized that the collective I was always trying to fit into wasn't as powerful as I had imagined. Understanding that gave me courage somehow. Perhaps one day I could be just like Alhaitham and not care about what anyone else thinks.
You can do it. Paimon believes in you.
Paimon acredita em você.
Well, I should get going. I'm one of the primary suspects in the case, so
Punição?
I'll have to receive my due punishment. Can you keep this a secret from my parents and my sister? I just don't want them to worry.
Tá de boa, nunca
Also,
copiei eles. Quem é mesmo seu pai?
apologize to Alhaitham
Foi
for
embora?
me. Goodbye, you two.
Eu peço. E o Sidon?
All the test subjects have been taken away.
Tá.
I'll have my subordinates seal the place, retrieve all documentation, and destroy the system. Are you two hurt? I brought bandages and hemostatics.
Tudo tá suave.
Paimon's fine. Just a little tired.
Get some rest. Alhaitham is probably waiting for you at the entrance. Go see him when you're done here. Watch
Claro.
out for any of Siraj's associates who might still be in hiding. If you encounter anything you can't take care of, come find me at the academia.
Okay, you stay safe too, Sino.
Pegue segurança. Monstro.
Let's go meet up with Alhaitham.
Vamos ver o que ele quer. Será que tem baú aqui? Tem. Baúzinho, né? Tá bom. Para. Ui, interessante, interessante. Tipo, essas missões são sempre assim, né? Diálogo.
The matter's settled. We can return now. I actually thought it would have been settled sooner. This took much longer than I expected. Judging by your faces, it seems like you two still have some questions.
Sim.
I respect your curiosity, but I'm off the clock now, so I'm not going to field any questions.
Hey, we're not your colleagues.
You couldn't tell that was an excuse just now?
What? Are you kidding me? You're not leaving today until you explain what happened back at Siraj's secret base.
E aí?
See ya.
Adeus. É isso.
Hold it right there.
Are you done? Your behavior is reminding me of some other people.
Stop changing the subject.
Fica aí, pai, não tá mais esperto.
It's too much of a hassle to explain everything from the top. You know what? Come
Tá, lá
with me.
vamos nós pra mais uma história.
Where to?
You'll know when we get there.
Ah, vamos, né? Tamo aqui. Tamo aqui, né? Tamo aqui, vambora. É dentro da... Não, fora. Será que a Nahida aparece aqui? Vamos tomar um chá.
Is this your home?
É a casa dele? Ok.
Yes.
Olha lá, vem história, hein?
What's with you all of a sudden? Being all polite and inviting us over?
Olha aquele cara que tava brigando
you're back.
naquela época.
Quick, come help me see if this painting's all straightened. Huh? Who are they?
Stop making a fuss. They're obviously guests.
You're not from the academia, are you?
Não.
I'm unsure she's seen you before. You're that person from that time in that one place!
Sim, pai,
Wait,
naquele
what?
dia.
How do you know me? Oh no, do people know that I live here?
What? You're embarrassed only now of all times?
Oh, you guys are roommates!
Yes, we are, but keep that to yourselves. Please, don't tell anyone else.
E será que esse aí vai
I
ser o novo
keep a few
campeão?
books on
Esse cara aí?
collectives and the subconscious here at home. I'll get them. You all chat in the meantime.
Hey!
Hey, you're leaving just like that? What's the deal, Alhaitham?
Então, né? Sobrou pra gente.
Sorry, I know we've only just met, but I have to ask. Are you, you wouldn't happen to be actors that Alhaitham hired to pretend to be his friends, would you?
Não. Nossa, que lá vem história. Sempre lá vem história.
What?
Guess not. I've never seen him invite friends home before, so please excuse my surprise. You guys get it, right? You know, with his temperament and stuff.
But aren't you his friend?
I wouldn't say friends
Irmão?
exactly. Okay, well, we used to be.
Por quê?
But we're not anymore. Don't worry about it. My name is Kaveh. I'm
Cadê?
sorry to have met you under these circumstances. Anyway, please don't say anything about me living here.
You seem like you got a lot going on. So maybe Samora will make Paimon shut up.
O pai não
Are
se
you
bordaram.
serious? How could you? Of course. You're all Hatham's friends.
Vai, é pai, mano.
That was a normal response. You exposed your own weakness.
Still, why do you have to treat me like he does?
Judging by the deafening din coming from the living room, you all must be getting along quite well.
Ah, tá suave. Aqui pai não tá subornando
Entertain
ele.
your own friends, why don't you?
I'll leave the books here.
Você vira um spy, né? Mas meu
I'm
Deus.
dizzy from reading. This is way too complicated. Why don't we just ask questions instead?
Não. Não era bom.
Paimon wants to know, oh, how did you know about the collective consciousness's weakness?
A year ago, Siraj presented his thesis to the Grand Sage, who offhandedly asked for my opinion. I actually responded with 2 lines of reasoning. The first, as I've already said, was that his research was on human evolution, a subject prohibited by the academia. The second was that I thought the direction of his research was too extreme, but his approach too conservative.
Wait, that's too conservative? He built such a large lab, gathered all those people, and even tried to get rid of you!
One way to stabilize a collective consciousness is to remove the test subject's humanity altogether. The optimal solution to achieve collective consciousness is to focus solely on the overmind and treat the other test subjects as tools.
That's way too dangerous. You're not seriously considering that, are you? 'Cause, whew.
I'm merely stating the facts. If Siraj had done that, I would have felt his work to be just as senseless. It's impossible for any species to evolve overnight, and humans without their humanity cannot be called humans. That's why the academia prohibited research into human evolution. Most research of this kind tends to run contrary to evolution.
Huh. Paimon gets it now.
Ha! That's rich coming from you. If humans aren't humans without their humanity, then you'll probably evolve into some other species in another decade, I wager.
What about you? Are you going to devolve into a fungus?
At least I'd be a fungus with empathy. Sorry for
cogumelo com
eavesdropping, but what
empatia,
happened
né?
to you guys? Are you in trouble?
Tá de boa.
Sort of. We encountered a strange researcher that had it out for us.
Are you all okay?
Pra ser mais sincero, eu estava mirando no amiguinho ali, né? Só estava de passagem na hora.
Huh. So that's how things went. Such is life. If only he'd known, Alhaitham could have stayed indoors today, and the whole thing could have been avoided, right? Plus, he could have helped me with the housework for once. See those books? They've been sitting there waiting for someone to sort through them for an age. If you're not gonna read them, tidy them away. They don't belong.
Can you feel the awkwardness in the air? I hope you're aware of your lack of conversational skills.
Sua falta de habilidade
so the pot's
social.
calling the kettle black, is he? Well, having said all that, are you okay?
I'm doing quite well. Much better than that painting you're trying to hang on the wall.
You don't understand anything. Stop criticizing my taste in decoration.
Cabe. Pode cabe.
Paimon can't tell which of them is more problematic. Let's just get this over with and leave.
É tudo da sua curiosidade, vai.
You whisper very loudly.
Oh, yeah, Paimon's been told that.
Do you have any more questions?
Let Paimon think. Oh, by the way, the other researchers apologized to you. They hope that you can forgive them.
I bear them no ill will. More accurately, I don't really care about what they think of me. To some extent, they were also fooled by Siraj. The Matra will take this into account at their trials.
Ilias also said that he wanted to tell us the truth at Gandharvaville, but he didn't have the courage. He apologized to you, too.
It doesn't matter. I never considered asking him to come forward with the truth. Judging from his experiences, he's more courageous than the average person. There's no need to lay even more criticism on him. I'm going for dinner in 10 minutes, so I'll field one last question.
Paimon doesn't have any more questions. How about you?
Você estava interessado.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. You only started investigating with the Matra at the Academia because you were interested in something, right? But after meeting Siraj, it didn't seem like you were interested in him or his experiment.
I had no interest in him personally, but I was curious as to why so many people were willing to form a collective consciousness with him. I now understand the reason.
Tem algo a ver com a atmosfera atual da academia? Na academia, né?
Correct. The fall of the sages and the shutdown of the Akasha terminals deeply affected the academia. The fact that Siraj's project attracted so much interest despite not being approved speaks to the lack of research projects as of late. As the acting Grand Sage, I'll have to figure something out. In addition, what happened to Ilias is worth our attention. Reporting academic fraud was the right thing to do. He didn't deserve the outcome that he had received.
Paimon understands now. Oh, you're pretty serious when it comes to work, huh?
I think minimum viable seriousness is a more apt description.
Seriedade mínima
I'll do my best to take care of this mess
viável.
until my resignation is approved.
Wait, your resignation?
Yes. I've already submitted my resignation to the academia. Soon, I'll resign as the acting Grand Sage and go
Ele não
back to
quer
being
ser
a
o
scribe.
grande sábio.
I don't think Siraj knew about that. If he had waited just a few more days before acting, I would have already resigned. What he'd do then wouldn't have been any concern of mine. However, even without my input, his unstable model would have collapsed for some other reason, so it makes no difference.
But why do you want to
I'm not suited to be a sage, nor do I want to be one. The official process to select the new sages is already underway, but this
Será que vai ser
process
esse
is
amigo
long
dele?
and takes far too much time. If I serve as acting Grand Sage for too long, the position might become permanent. That would be troublesome. This job isn't something I want to spend the rest of my
Você
life
tem uma
doing.
direção bem clara pra si mesmo.
It's important to keep your priorities
O amiguinho
straight.
dele, eu acho que vai ser esse cara aqui, ó.
It's about time. You too should grab some dinner as well.
Oh, now that you say that, Paimon's kinda hungry. See ya! We're gonna grab some yummies.
Cadê?
See ya.
Terminamos. Missão concluída. Oh, tá que fim, né?
The name Siraj doesn't ring a bell. Was he in your class?
He isn't someone who would leave
Ué,
an impression,
eu
so it's expected
terminei.
that you don't remember him.
Eu não
I've
terminei.
always had a hard time appreciating the way that the academia pressures people by labeling them as geniuses. But even so, the academia can't be left to you. Or perhaps I should say that I'm delighted to see that you have a base amount of self-awareness. If the people in the academia haven't gone mad, they'd know that I'm much
Ele
more
vai ser
suited to be a
sábio.
sage than you.
And I suppose they'd let everyone know that your career as a sage will be as shaky as that painting.
Again, that's mighty rich coming from someone about to resign. In a few days, you'll be managing files again. You'll be back at rock bottom.
But my salary will likely stay the same.
Wait, what? How come? Why do you get special treatment?
At least I don't have to be an architectural designer who works himself to death just to get a smile from his client.
You... I took time out of my day to clean the living room for you, and this is the thanks I get for it? I'd have been better off catching up on my work!
Make sure to pay back the rent you owe me. I'm going to buy some furniture with that Mora.
What? Are you trying to annoy me to death? The decorations you buy keep getting uglier and uglier! What's the point of having a boring wood carving in your house?
You'll have to blame that on my financial freedom.
Fine! Go ahead and hide behind your financial success if you want. But if we forget Mora for a second, do you have anything of true value to boast about?
Nada esse aqui,
I
né?
think I'd have too many choices, to be honest. You, on the other hand, can you think of any redeeming features at all?
Artistry, for sure! You don't know the first thing about interior design. Don't go off buying random furniture unless you take me with you.
So I'll have to bring you along and then buy you drinks?
Of course!
But why would I do that? It would just be another form of a loan, and you'd have to pay me back eventually.
Can't you just be nice and not ask for the Mora back?
Pretending that you're not in debt is as ridiculous as pretending you're not living in someone else's home. Word will get out sooner or later.
Speaking of which, your friends won't say anything, right? Tell them to keep all this a secret.
Não é mais um
There's no need to
segredo.
hide it so carefully. I think the truth's already out. You're such a lightweight that a few drinks at the tavern had you spilling all your beans.
What? No, it can't be.
Pô, mas... Terminamos ou não terminamos?